yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring to their knees. Pain for their disease. Just like the wind. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to a very special edition Thursday stream, and we turning up on a Thursday. And Thursdays, I'm telling you, they are my unofficial secondary day. Thursdays are like my SmackDown, if you will, while Saturdays are like my Monday Night Raw. I'm telling you, I am feeling it more and more every single time I go live on a Thursday. And in case you guys are unaware, we got ourselves a pay-per-view going down on Sunday, although I'm sure by the end of it, not many of you will care because it's NXT, but of course you always care when DJ Storms goes live, as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle, no. Shit. Do you smell that? Do you know what that is? Just take a whiff of it. And no, Mr. Puntasecca, it is not that smoking Texas barbecue, but it is the smell of pure fucking excellence. Wait for it. Wait for it. Two-man Yeah, this is the official rundown for NXT Great American Bash 2023, which of course is streaming live on the Peacock, that is. Get your mind out of the gutter, you fucking savages. That will be Peacock this Sunday. Pre-show starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, if I'm not mistaken. And I know, a lot of you don't really give a shit. Whenever I talk about NXT, it's usually one of my weaker crowds, as expected. Because at the end of the day, NXT is a heaping pile of dog shit, no matter how you look at it, especially with what took place last Tuesday. Holy shit. I mean, they got fucking Dominic Mysterio as the North American champion. Like, that's going to drive up the fucking ratings. It's pretty much the same shit that I always say about NXT. If you guys have been keeping track with what I do, if you guys pay attention, if you guys are here every single Saturday, whenever an NXT news or report comes up, you always know what I'm going to say regarding NXT. The brand right now is the worst brand in all of professional wrestling. I actually find more people that give a shit about Impact Wrestling more so than NXT. I don't really know what I can say that I haven't already said to you. The brand has taken such a fall from grace to a point where it's come to a point where I'm even contemplating even talking about their pay-per-views. I'm not even lying. I'm even contemplating coming on here and doing rewinds and rundowns when it comes to their pay-per-views. And sometimes their pay-per-views aren't even that bad. Battleground was actually a pretty decent pay-per-view, even though it felt rushed at times. But at the end of the day, Battleground wasn't half bad. And the Great American Bash, look, I'm pretty sure it could be decent. It could be very decent in the end of the day. But after it's all said and done and the dust clears, what is it really going to mean? That's always the one question that I always ask. When the dust settles and something is over and done with, how much of a purpose is it really going to serve? Because every single time, after Deadline, after Vengeance Day, after Stand and Deliver, after Battleground, after every single NXT premium live event throughout the last 8 months, they have done the same exact thing over and over and over again. They've just completely neglected what they did and acted as if it never happened, and they went back to the same bullshit on Tuesday nights. I don't even cover NXT on my show. I watch it from time to time, but if I was to tell you that I watched NXT in full and legit took notes on it, I'm talking about the weekly television show, I would be lying to you. The last time I probably did it was at some point last year. And I think that was because I just wanted to see how it would change when Triple H took over. And then all that went up in smoke. NXT was going to be, in a sense, resurrected. Triple H was looking to sign all the top-tier independent names, and that plan went right out the window when Vince McMahon pretty much forced his way back into the company in the beginning of January. NXT sucks. NXT is a dead brand. It is the worst brand in the entire wrestling industry. And if you don't think so, I have no problem looking you dead in the eye and calling you a retard, because that's what you are. The show itself, listen, I don't think anyone is really expecting much of this show. Kind of like what happened with Battleground, but Battleground turned out to be a decent show. In the end, this could turn out to be a decent show too. But I sound like a broken record when I tell you they're going to go back to doing the same shit that they've done after every NXT premium live event. It's the same thing with the main roster premium live events. You take a look at WWE's premium live events on the main roster this year, and legitimately every single pay-per-view, except for the Royal Rumble this year, because that pay-per-view sucked, every single pay-per-view minus the Rumble has been a great pay-per-view. It really has. It's been a fantastic pay-per-view. WrestleMania was very good. Backlash was very good. And Night of Champions was very good. Money in the Bank had a great crowd. Elimination Chamber was fantastic. Elimination Chamber may very well go down as the best overall WWE pay-per-view of the year. Either that or WrestleMania. So I'm sure that NXT Great American Bash could be decent. SummerSlam I expect to be very good. But what do every single time? They neglect everything, and they book their weekly television shows like dog shit. And that's the same thing that's going to happen on Tuesday. Contrary to what people may think, I do know what's going on NXT. And yes, James Punisecki, yes, right here. Mediocre. Exactly what it is. It's mediocre. No one gives a shit. That's why only 5 people are watching me right now. Usually, I'd have like 15 people in the chat by now. That goes to show you how shitty NXT really is. But we're going to dissect everything. We're going to go over everything regarding NXT. We're going to preview and predict everything going down. Lightning Flash update is back. I took last week off because I was living it up in Texas. Everything is bigger in Texas, as they say, including that succulent Texas barbecue. Holy shit, was that good. I am going to be back with the LFU on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And the main topic of discussion, LA Knight reportedly is not being pushed because he has attitude problems. Man, do you smell that? No, that's I'm sorry. That's not pure excellence. You know what that is? That right there is horse shit. Absolute horse shit. Attitude problems. Attitude problems, my ass. We're going to discuss the real reason why LA Knight is not being pushed on Saturday. On top of that, next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to go live for the rewind for NXT Great American Bash. I will be flying solo, just like I'm flying solo tonight. And I am flying solo tonight because my guest, Hibiki TMD, he was supposed to make his return to the channel. He had work. He is working until 11 p.m. tonight. So shout out to Hibiki for putting in the grind and making sure that his pockets are lined up. Absolutely. So keep up to date with what you're doing, Hibiki. You're doing awesome. I'm glad that you're doing well, and I hope to have you on the channel very, very soon. I'm going to fly solo tonight. I'm flying solo next Tuesday. Next Thursday, though, I am not flying solo because one of my good friends from the ISPW shows, Billy Ann Wolf, she's been in the chat from time to time. She is coming on my channel, and we're going to preview and predict everything going down at SummerSlam. SummerSlam is, of course, next Saturday, and I will be going to Pub House 46 in Clifton, New Jersey to hang out with all of the Wrestling Express members. That includes Glenn Davidson, that includes Tommy McGrogan, that includes Anthony Kareem. They're all great. They are all awesome, and I'm very, very happy to be back in the swing of things with Wrestling Express. I had a great time last year for the All Out get-together, so I look forward to the SummerSlam get-together this time around. If you guys missed the rewind for Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor with my boy Hooligram, that is on the channel right now. It is actually around 85 views, so it's not doing too bad for itself. Go check that out. Me and Hooligram broke down everything that went down at Death Before Dishonor less than a week ago. Very solid show, to say the least. Very solid show, to say the least. Despite the lackluster build, we had some great wrestling, especially the last three matches with the Fight Without Honor, with the Righteous and the Dark Order, the World Title match with Claudio and Pac, and then the main event for the Women's Championship with Athena and Willow Nightingale, which was the match of Willow Nightingale's career right there. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff was the Ring of Honor show, and I am very much looking forward to the next one. If you guys haven't already done so, please follow me on social media at HistoryMakerDJS. Once again, that is at HistoryMakerDJS, both on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those links are in the description, as well as the link to my personal Facebook, which we are streaming live on right now to get a nice wider outreach. For collaborations and business inquiries, please send me an email. My email is, of course, stormstakeover@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description, so please, please, please go and check them out. Shout out to Brittany K, my girl Brittany K. She is amazing. She does beautifully handcrafted designs on her iPad from scratch. All wrestlers. And sometimes she does Twitter avies and Twitter banners. She does pro wrestlers like the House of Black and Bray Wyatt and Jon Moxley and Karrion Kross, Alexa Bliss, many, many, many more. If you want these designs, if you want to go out of your way to get yourself a new Twitter avi or a new Twitter banner, please go and check her out. Her social media links are in the description. Her Twitter is BrittanyK5150, and her Instagram is at BrittanyKDesigns. She is amazing. Great supporter of the channel. Very, very happy to call her a friend, and I hope to talk to her very, very soon. If you're watching, Brittany, I'm sorry. I have been extremely busy. Work is an absolute bitch. Thank God tomorrow is Friday, and we get a weekend going into the last couple of days in July, if you could believe that. On Tuesday, it's going to be fucking August 1st. Where the fuck is the summer going? It's unbelievable. Pretty soon, my cousin's going to get married. Then it's going to be my dad's birthday, then my mother's birthday, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas. That's going to be fucking 2024. I'm going to be fucking 25. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Please make sure, if you haven't already done so, that you like the stream, no matter where you're watching it from, whether you're watching it on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter. Please go and follow all of the Hardcore Sports social media links as well, including the Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube channel. We are live on the YouTube channel right now. We are very, very close to 800 subscribers. So please, we want to be the #1 brand in all of sports analytics. That includes baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestling, UFC, you name it. We are on top of everything. We are on top of absolutely everything. So please make sure that you go and subscribe to Hardcore Sports. And of course, hit the subscribe button on my channel as well. And share the stream out on all platforms of social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever social media platforms that you may be using as of right now. And when you hit the subscribe button, whether it be on my channel or the Hardcore Sports channel, you better be hitting that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace, because that way you're going to know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, oh, baby, it is the absolute best time to be on YouTube. You know why? Because it's the only time that you can get to see this, so glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. And I think I know what it's time for. I think I know what it's time for. It's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Here we go, baby. Now we getting down and dirty into the nitty gritty. I'm more dirty than Dirty Dominic Mysterio over here. And we're going to light it up right here on the rundown with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because like a fresh, hot, steaming, sizzling beef Brooklyn burger right off the grill with some American cheese and Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, I am just so good. Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. You already know. Thank you very much to Dylan, James Punaseca, Jorinda, Texador. Very much looking forward to seeing what you are thinking right now regarding NXT. You guys are awesome. And I hope that you guys have a fun time, even though NXT sucks. I'm going to do my best to make this shit entertaining. And I'm going to do my best to break down everything that's going down on Sunday in Texas, actually, if you could believe that. It's going down in Texas, the Great American Bash. So we have the pre-show match. This is Nathan Frazer, Dragon Lee, Valentina Feroz, and Ulysses Leon. They're taking on the Quartet of Metaphor, which is Noam Dar, Oro Mensah, Lash Legend, and Zakara Jackson. This obviously came about because Ulysses Leon and Valentina Feroz, they're tied up with Nathan Frazer and Dragon Lee. They evened the odds against Metaphor, and Noam Dar recently just lost his NXT Heritage Cup to Nathan Frazer, and now Noam Dar has seemingly gone into depression because he's lost his baby, he's lost his boo, the Heritage Cup. That's how fucking stupid the storylines here in NXT are. The only thing that I can see when I look at this is I see Nathan Frazer and Dragon Lee, who are easily two of the best talents that they have down in Orlando in the Performance Center. And this is the best that they got for him. I mean, holy fuck. Dragon Lee has been booked so bad. He has been booked so piss poor. I don't even have the words to describe it. I don't even know what they're doing. It's like Shawn Michaels doesn't even know what the fuck he wants to do with Dragon Lee. This is the best that you got for him in a 8-person tag team match where he is teaming with Valentina Feroz and Ulysses Leon, and they're not bad. They're not bad. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're terrible, but they're not must-see. And they're tag teaming against Noam Dar, Oro Mensah, Lash Legend, and Zakara Jackson. Who the fuck is Zakara Jackson? What the fuck has Lash Legend done? Matter of fact, she's been known as Trash Legend recently. Thank God that they've made her into more of a manager than an in-ring talent. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. I mean, if anything, I expect the heels to win this. I honestly expect the heels to win this because then Noam Dar will have a reason to be challenging for the real NXT Heritage Cup. I'm not sure if he's going to win it back. If you're asking me, I wouldn't have him win it back I would keep that shit on Nathan Frazer, because Nathan Frazer right now, he is easily one of the best talents, like I said, down in NXT. He is one of the individuals that's more than deserving of a championship. But I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with Dragon Lee. If anything, I have a plan for Dragon Lee. I would absolutely have him fight whoever the NXT North American champion is, which is pretty obvious based on the plan. But as far as this match goes, I mean, do you care? This is the same shit that they did at NXT Stand and Deliver, where they had Chase University and Tyler Bate go up against the Schism. It's the same exact shit. It was an 8-person tag team match. Except that time, the babyfaces came out victorious. I don't expect that shit here. I actually expect Metaphor to take the win to set up Noam Dar and Nathan Frazer one more time, and then Nathan Frazer will finally beat Noam Dar, and hopefully we can move on from this shit. Metaphor, I'm telling you right now, Metaphor is pretty much in the same boat as Schism. They do nothing. They actually make the show worse. That's not because Oro Mensah and Noam Dar are bad in-ring talents. It's just because the whole entire vibe and the character work around it is just fucking cringeworthy. Schism is fucking lame. Same thing with Metaphor. But I expect them to win. See what happens. Moving on to the main show here, the meat and potatoes of this show. Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson. He made his choice that he is staying in NXT, and he will be going one-on-one at the pay-per-view with Baron Corbin. Yes. You took Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin from NXT. Put him on the main roster. You had something decent. And they fucking killed it. They made him into the fucking Constable, and then TGI Friday Corbin, and then fucking King Corbin, and Happy Corbin, and then they paired him with JBL and all this shit. Then you drafted Corbin into free agency. And you put him down in NXT. You put him in a match with Carmelo Hayes, which was probably the best Baron Corbin match that we've seen since the days of Corbin competing in the King of the Ring tournament, having bangers with Cedric Alexander and Ricochet and all these other people, Chad Gable as well. You took him, you brought back the Lone Wolf, then you took away the Lone Wolf, and I guess you're kind of keeping the badass vibe with Baron Corbin, but you're putting him against a man in Gable Steveson who has been wildly touted by WWE, and WWE seemingly looking for the next Kurt Angle in Gable Steveson. What do you think's going to happen with this match? You think Corbin's going to win? Of course he's not. Baron Corbin is virtually back in the same exact role that he was in before they got rid of the Lone Wolf gimmick. It's a fucking enhancement talent. Baron Corbin will go nowhere if these are the matches that you're going to place him in. If anything, it could very well rejuvenate Corbin's career in terms of a wrestling aspect. It may have people look at him in a different light in terms of, okay, Corbin can actually wrestle. Corbin's putting on banger matches. He did so with Carmelo Hayes. He could do so with Gable Steveson. But then again, this is Gable Stevenson's first match. How much offense are they really going to give Baron Corbin in this? And how far has Gable Steveson come along in the Performance Center? Oddly enough, I'm somewhat intrigued in this match because I actually want to see what Gable Steveson will do. I'm not lying. I actually want to see what Gable Steveson will do. Now, if he can do more than a belly-to-belly suplex, I will be okay with that. But listen, you want to do a couple suplexes, fine, but you got to do more than belly-to-belly and German suplexes. You're trying to be the next Kurt Angle here, not the next Brock Lesnar. The only thing you're missing is a fucking F5. But I'm somewhat intrigued. I'm somewhat intrigued to see what Gable Steveson can do. Corbin, we all know, if you give Baron Corbin the opportunity, he will put on a solid match. He's done it numerous amounts of times. Corbin can work with those that you put him in the ring with. He just needs to adapt to the style. He can work with guys like a Ricochet and a Carmelo Hayes and a Chad Gable. People like that. He can work with a Drew McIntyre and others of that nature. He can work with a Dolph Ziggler. He can work with an Ilya Dragunov. He can work with these guys. So I trust that Baron Corbin is going to do what he can, but in the end, you think Corbin's going to win? No. Corbin is virtually back in the same exact role that he was in prior to them getting rid of the Lone Wolf gimmick 5 years ago. Corbin is now the resident enhancement talent of NXT. Now, who the fuck is he going to put over next after Gable Steveson? Gable Steveson, let me tell you something. Gable Steveson better have come a long way in the Performance Center. That's all I'm going to say. Because, listen, with how much hype has gone into Gable Steveson and how WWE has been so high on him and he's been so sought after by WWE, he better fucking give us something. Now, what we saw in the fight pit, listen, a couple of belly-to-belly suplexes, that's not going to cut it. You need to do more than that. We'll see what happens, but this is a no-brainer right here. Gable Steveson is taking the win. Blair Davenport versus Roxanne Perez. This is a weapons wild match, and I'm actually looking forward to this more so than I'm looking forward to the NXT Women's Championship match on this show. I'm not even lying. Now, I will say this. I don't mind the storyline. I don't mind the storyline. I think that introducing Blair Davenport in the way that they introduced her and her attacking the female superstars down in NXT and Roxanne Perez being the scrappy baby face who's going to step up and challenge the arrogant bully Roxanne Perez. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I actually think that's a decent little story, and the match that they put on at the Great American Bash, it wasn't half bad. It wasn't half bad at all. A little clunky, but it wasn't half bad. Now you add weapons into this. I mean, it could be something. Roxanne Perez, she's very good. Matter of fact, I'm not sure why she isn't on Raw or SmackDown. I don't know how the fuck you elected to call up Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, who are more than ready for the main roster, but you don't call up Roxanne Perez. I don't know how the fuck you call up Indy Hartwell and do nothing with her, but yet Roxanne Perez is still down there in NXT. Roxanne Perez should have been called up in the draft, no questions asked, and she's not. And the only reason that I can think of is the fact that they know that they've built up 0 new stars in that women's division. The same cast of characters that are at the top level, and then everyone else is just in the shitter. You got Tiffany Stratton, you got Lyra Valkyria, you got Roxanne Perez, Blair Davenport, and when she comes back, Nikita Lyons. That's it. And then maybe Sol Ruka. 6 women. Everyone else is in the shitter. Everyone else is undercard garbage. Thea Hale's not bad, but I mean, the fucking character that Thea Hale's playing is fucking annoying. I don't mind the feud. Both of these women are great. Both of these women should be future women's champions. Blair Davenport, she's got all the fucking credentials. She's got the look. She's got the entrance. She's got the vibe. She's got the aura. She's got the in-ring ability. She just has a certain presence about her. She really does. And Roxanne Perez, I mean, she's a fucking prodigy. She's, 21 years old? And she's this good at 21 years old. So at the end of the day, it could very well be a decent match. The problem is, I just don't care. And it's not because these women aren't good. I just don't give a shit because the entirety of NXT is just blah. That's the problem with NXT. Even the good stuff like Blair Davenport and Roxanne Perez, I can't even bring myself to care about fully because the brand just sucks horse meat cock. It does. I'm sorry. If anything, listen, if they want them to, they let them go for 15, 20 minutes, it could end up stealing the fucking show. These 2 women are great. Now who wins? Well, Blair Davenport, she won the first one. It would only make sense that Roxanne Perez wins this one, but you need to think about something. Is it really necessary for Roxanne Perez to win right now? Or are they going to have Roxanne Perez win, and then Roxanne Perez is the next challenger for Tiffany Stratton? I mean, if you ask me, that would kind of make the most sense. If you look at it, it's kind of an unofficial number one contenders match. And the winner of this is going to get the winner of Tiffany Stratton and Thea Hale, which I do believe will be Tiffany Stratton. If you're asking me, I mean, Roxanne Perez, if she's going to go out, I don't think this is the proper way to go out. If you're going to go out putting over Tiffany Stratton and giving her another title defense, because they're running out of challengers for Tiffany Stratton. You got Thea Hale, you got Roxanne Perez, and then Lyra Valkyria. What happens after that? Is Nikita Lyons ready to come back? Is her knee injury all healed up? Is she ready to get back into the swing of things? How long before her ring rust is gone? Does she even have any ring rust? I don't know. But Roxanne Perez, I mean, it's probably best that she win this, because if Blair Davenport wins, I mean, you're not going to do heel versus heel. Where does Blair Davenport go after this? Roxanne Perez actually has a direction to go after this match. And her beating Blair Davenport and going to fight Tiffany Stratton and then lose to Tiffany Stratton, and then Tiffany Stratton can go on and do her own thing after that. Roxanne Perez gets called up to the main roster. That sounds like a decent little plan. So if you're asking me, I'd probably give this to Roxanne Perez and then build her up to take on Tiffany Stratton. Give us that NXT Women's Championship match, and then Roxanne Perez could be called up at some point in the fall. That's what I would do. But for all we know, I mean, Blair Davenport could end up winning this match. This is a little bit more unpredictable than the rest of the card. But I am going with Roxanne Perez because she makes the most sense, and after she will challenge Tiffany Stratton. Gallus, which is one of the best acts on NXT right now. This is Mark Coffey, Joe Coffey, and Wolfgang, the Gallus Boys. Gallus Boys on top, as they say. Gallus Boys are great. They're taking on Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. This is for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And I'm actually looking forward to this match, because this is the match where I do believe that Tony D'Angelo is finally going to get some gold. They're finally going to get some gold. And you know what? It is going to be a long time coming for Tony D'Angelo. It will. And I'm glad that they kept the titles on Gallus for a considerable amount of time. They won the titles back in February. They've been tag team champions ever since then. And it's been a very slow burn. They haven't just thrown shit to Tony D'Angelo and Stacks like they're entitled. They've actually told a decent little story with Tony D'Angelo and Stacks. Maybe the best story in NXT right now. I'm not even bullshitting you. That whole angle where he got arrested and Channing Stacks Lorenzo had to, fight to get him out, that wasn't bad whatsoever. And the Gallus Boys, they've been doing their own thing. They've been putting on some great tag team matches. They've been probably the best representatives for the NXT tag team titles. And I'm very, very happy that they got a legit run with it. But now it's Tony D'Angelo's time. Stacks, he's not bad in his own right. He was a little green when he first came into NXT. That much I will say, but he really grew into his own, and he really became a solid addition to the Tony D'Angelo act. If anything, I'm kind of disappointed that they let Cole Carter go just because he failed one drug policy violation. He just failed one. Usually it's 3 strikes and you're out. He just failed one. But if they kept Cole Carter in NXT, I'm telling you, they could have had a nice, decent little faction right there. You could have had D'Angelo as the NXT North American champion, and you could have had, Troy 2 Dimes Donovan and Channing Stacks Lorenzo as the NXT Tag Team Champions. Those two ain't bad. They weren't a bad tag team at all. We'll see what happens. But in the end, I do believe that the D'Angelo family is going to win the tag team titles. And if Gallus loses, I really don't know who else is there. The only other team that I can honestly see taking the titles off of Gallus, if Tony and Stacks don't win, is Chase U. Because Chase U, I mean, they're a big babyface tag team, but if anything, based on what they've been showcasing to us on television, it seems as though Duke Hudson could very well be turning on Andre Chase. I don't know. It really does seem as though Andre Chase could very well be on the receiving end of a beatdown by Duke Hudson, because Duke Hudson, he's been showing a little bit more heel mannerisms. He's been acting very prick-like, if you know what I'm saying. If you've been paying attention, although I don't know who the fuck still watches NXT besides me, but if you've been paying attention, Duke Hudson has been acting like a bit of a dickwad, like a little bit of a cocky asshole. He's been giving off asshole vibes. He's been giving off narcissist vibes. So if anything, they could split up Chase U. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that at all. Because Chase U, when we had them in the NXT Tag Team Title Fatal 4-Way match back at Vengeance Day, they actually were the most over team in the match. Matter of fact, there were a lot of people in that arena and on Twitter that were actually saying, give it to Chase U. Really, give it to Chase U. But outside of that, there's really no other tag teams that I can honestly see taking the titles off of Gallus if Tony and Stacks don't win. That's why I'm absolutely calling Tony D'Angelo and Stacks to win. It only makes sense. And with Tony and Stacks winning, I do believe that Gallus could very well be called up to the main roster because they are great. But I mean, I don't really know if I want them to be called up to the main roster. I mean, NXT's a shit show, but at least Gallus are being used prominently on NXT. If they're called up to Raw or SmackDown, I mean, holy shit, they ain't going to do anything. How many people right now are on Raw and SmackDown and they're doing nothing with them? Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, Dexter Lumis, Candice LeRae, Nikki Cross, Tegan Knox, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. How many fucking people? Seriously. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza, Cruz del Toro. Where the fuck are they? Why is it that we've only been seeing Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio from the LWO on television? Where's the rest of the LWO? Where's Joaquin Wilde? Where's Cruz del Toro? Where the fuck is Johnny Gargano? How the Indy Hart, yeah, and Paul the Shooter, Indy Hartwell too. Where the fuck is Indy Hartwell? Why are you not using these individuals? Why is it nothing but the Bloodline and the Judgment Day now? And believe me, we're going to talk about the Judgment Day next. So I don't even know if I want Gallus to be called up to the main roster, if I'm going to be quite honest. But in the end, there is no other way out of this other than new tag team champions. Plain and simple. Dominic Mysterio versus Wes Lee versus Mustafa Ali. This is for the NXT North American Championship. I'm telling you, the more that I just think about Dominic Mysterio as the NXT North American Champion, it just leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Really does. Just leaves a very bad taste in my mouth. I don't understand how you think Dominic Mysterio, no matter who the fuck he's affiliated with, how the fuck are you going to convince me that Dominic Mysterio is a fucking draw on NXT? What's going to happen when the fans watching on Tuesday nights are numb? What's going to happen when they're numb to all of these main roster stars appearing on NXT? You had Dana Brooke, you had Baron Corbin, you had the Judgment Day, you had Seth Rollins. I mean, what are you going to do when they won't peak 700,000? They've just barely been peaking 700,000 on Tuesday night with the Judgment Day on the show. Barely. And the only reason why you gave it to Dominic Mysterio was to drive up the ratings for two reasons. Number one, they're trying to secure another TV rights deal for NXT. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why? Just let it expire and put it on fucking Peacock. No one gives a fuck about NXT. It's more of a liability than anything. And if you ask me, you could easily move a Rampage or a Collision to Tuesday night. Which, if that's the case, if NXT ever gets canceled, I do hope that Tony Khan considers either moving Rampage or Collision to Tuesday nights. I really do. But I mean, holy fuck. Holy fuck. You honestly believe that the Judgment Day are going to keep these ratings up forever? Trying to secure this fucking TV rights deal? NXT is a liability. No one gives a fuck about it. You killed the Black and Gold brand, which was easily the best wrestling program in history since the fucking Attitude Era and the days of the NWO. You killed Black and Gold and brought about 2.0, 3.0, and all this other extra bullshit. No one gives a fuck about it. And this agenda that you're shoving down our fucking throats, trying to say, oh yeah, NXT is a legit third brand now. No, motherfucker, you had a legitimate third brand and you destroyed it because you didn't create it. I'm talking to you, Vince. NXT is a legit third brand now. We gotta get the Judgment Day on. We gotta get Rollins on. We gotta get Baron Corbin on. Oh my God, it's gonna be such good shit. We're gonna secure that TV rights deal. And then the second reason, now they're trying to beat AEW Dynamite in the ratings again. Now they're trying to beat Dynamite in the ratings again. You got your ass handed to you when you went head-to-head with Dynamite on Wednesdays. You got your fucking ass handed to you. So much so that USA Network forced you onto Tuesday nights. But now you want to try and get back at them? Let me tell you something. It don't matter who the fuck you put on that show. That brand is never, ever peaking 800,000 viewers weekly. Never. Dynamite, no matter what you may think of it, no matter how you may criticize Tony Khan, I'm telling you right now, you will never beat AEW Dynamite in the ratings with NXT, no matter who the fuck you put on that show. Now, if it was me in this match, if it was me booking this triple threat match, I would give it to Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali has gone way too long without a championship. He has done everything that company has said, and he has stuck by them. Even when he threatened to leave, he stuck by them. He has done everything they've wanted him to do, and he has received nothing. It is about time that we get Mustafa Ali into a position where he is a fucking champion. He has gone how many years? He has gone 7 fucking years with this company. 7 years with this company and not one championship to show for it. And he is one of the best talents that they have on that roster. One of the most, he's legitimately the modern day version of Dolph Ziggler. Except Mustafa Ali hasn't won jack shit. He's literally Dolph Ziggler 2.0. All the potential, all the wrestling ability in the world, and they just never fucking push him. But in the end, I don't see Mustafa Ali winning this, unfortunately. Because they got this agenda. They got a narrative to push NXT. You gotta beat AEW Dynamite in the ratings. You gotta get the TV rights deal. Who do you think's winning this match? If they got those two agendas backing them, and they're actually retarded enough to think that Judgment Day is gonna help NXT beat AEW Dynamite, who do you think they're gonna go with? They're gonna go with Dominic Mysterio. On top of that, if Dominic loses the championship, I'm going to ask the question, why the fuck even put the title on him to begin with? You halted Wes Lee and his absolutely fantastic North American Championship reign. Wes Lee is the longest reigning and absolutely by far the best NXT North American champion that we have ever seen since the inception of that championship in 2018. Wes Lee has absolutely been on fucking fire all year since he won that championship back in October at Halloween Havoc. Wes Lee has been putting on bangers with everyone, with fucking Ilya Dragunov, Wes Lee, JD McDonough, Tyler Bate, Dijak, Tony D'Angelo, Carmelo Hayes. Everywhere you look, Wes Lee is legitimately carrying everyone to their best match of their fucking life. And he came from nothing. His tag team partner was wrongfully fired. And we thought Wes Lee was going to be dead to rights. And what happened? Wesley proved us all wrong. Wesley proved us all wrong, and he became the best North American champion ever. And what did they do with him? They took all the work that Wesley did, and they gave it to a man in Dominic Mysterio who's not ready. Match should be fine. I mean, if Dominic cannot have a good match with Wesley and Mustafa Ali in the same ring at the same time, I mean, this guy may as well just fucking retire. But who do you think they're going to go with? They're going to go with Dominic because they got the ratings and the TV rights deal. No matter what they do, NXT will always be shit, and the ratings will never beat AEW Dynamite. Should be decent, but Dominic Mysterio is going to win. I mean, listen, this entire card should be a decent wrestling show, but in the end, are you going to care? I'm not. I'm only covering this for content purposes to boost my watch hours and to boost my views. Women's Championship match, Tiffany Stratton and Thea Hale. Submission match for the NXT Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton is amazing. Tiffany Stratton is easily the best NXT female recruit out of this new crop of talent, out of her, Roxanne, and Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Kiana James, and Nikita Lyons. She is easily the best one. Not to say that those other individuals are shit. Maybe JC Jane. JC Jane's fucking terrible. But Tiffany Stratton easily is above and beyond the rest. Tiffany Stratton is above and beyond the rest, and she is more than deserving of that NXT Women's Championship, and I'm very happy that they gave it to her. The match with Lyra Valkyria was actually the best women's match of the entire fucking weekend. No joke. No joke. Thea Hale. She's 19 years old. 19 years old. I do not mind Thea Hale from a wrestling perspective. She's a little green, but she is not a complete shit show in the ring. When you pair her with the right talent, Thea Hale can have a decent match. She's obviously going to get a lot of seasoning, don't get me wrong. But I just cannot stand the fucking character. I understand it's all about Chase U and this school spirit type of character, but I mean, holy shit. I mean, people want to make fun of Tony Khan for being on fucking cocaine. Holy shit, you take a look at Thea Hale, it looks like she snorts a line every other fucking hour. What are we doing with Thea Hale? Why do you gotta make her, oh? Holy shit, I mean, calm the fuck down. It's not appealing. It's not appealing at all. You want to have her be determined. You want to have her be focused and hyped up. Fine. But I mean, oh my God. Tone it the fuck down. Tone it down, please. Please. A submission match. I want a submission match. Calm the fuck down, honey. I mean, holy shit, listen. I would date you. But we ain't doing lines of cocaine. Put the white stuff away, okay, Thea? Now, it's pretty clear that Stratton should not be losing. It's pretty clear Stratton should not be losing. Stratton, if anything, I would have Stratton hold that title going into next year because she is just that damn fucking good. Stratton is not losing until next year. I can see her getting called up after WrestleMania 40 next year. As far as Thea Hale goes, Thea Hale, she is not going to be winning the NXT Women's Championship. She's not. If anything, I see her getting tied up with this, I guess, dissension storyline between Chase U, because like I said in the beginning, Chase U, they seem like they're headed towards a breakup. I'm not really sure how they're going to facilitate the breakup, but that remains to be seen, and we're going to keep our eyes on that. Tiffany Stratton, like I mentioned earlier, I can see Roxanne Perez winning the Weapons Wild match, and Perez is going to be the challenger for Tiffany Stratton. probably either next month or the beginning of September, and then we could be looking at Roxanne Perez getting called up to the main roster. After Roxanne Perez, I honestly don't know who the fuck you put against Tiffany Stratton. I don't. Maybe Lyra Valkyria again. I mean, they had a very good match at NXT Battleground. Matter of fact, I think they had one of the best matches of the entire weekend for women's wrestling. That's actually a very underrated match, if you ask me. Went about 16, 17 minutes, and those two women did very good. They did. You could do Lyra Valkyria again. Maybe Gigi Dolan. Gigi Dolan, she needs to work on her craft. But one thing I will say about Gigi Dolan is she's trying. She is. She's trying, but clear as day, she is not there yet, and it's going to take a little bit of time for Gigi Dolan to get everything down to a T. She is She's okay on the microphone. She's not horrendous. She's not horrendous in the ring. But I don't know. I don't know. It's like something's missing with her. It's like maybe she just needs to spend a little bit more time getting her craft down. Maybe she just needs to spend a little bit more time evolving in the ring. Because, I mean, working with Jacy Jayne, I mean, she was easily the weakest link out of Toxic Attraction when they were around. Jacy Jayne is just a complete flop. She is going nowhere. I don't think she even knows who the fuck she wants to be. But Tiffany Stratton, listen, they're running out of challengers. They're really running out of challengers. So after Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria, I mean, the only other challenger I could see is Nikita Lyons. Maybe Sol Ruca comes back. I'm not really sure how far along in the recovery period Sol Ruca is, but I would love to see Sol Ruca back. Do they send women from the main roster down to NXT? I don't fucking know. I mean, at this rate, we could see Rhea Ripley challenge for the fucking NXT Women's Championship. At this rate, we could see Rhea Ripley become a double fucking champion. But this match, easily, no-brainer. I don't know how they're going to do it, but Thea Hale will not be winning the NXT Women's Championship because Tiffany Stratton right now, she is the cream of the crop down in NXT's women's division. Main event, and a match that could honestly steal the entire fucking show and could honestly, if they wanted to, this match could honestly be the match of the year candidate. Do I think it will be? No, because let me tell you something. When it comes to NXT, they never really let people go out there and, put on match of the year candidates like that. I don't think we've had a match of the year candidate in NXT in God knows how fucking long. But this main event is easily one of the most anticipated matches of the summer for me personally, just because of who these guys are. Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. Now, I honestly don't know who the fuck is taking the NXT Championship off of Carmelo Hayes. If you ask me, I would love to see Dragunov. I'd fucking love to see Dragunov. I mean, Dragunov's a fucking beast. If anything, Dragunov has fucking earned himself an NXT Championship reign. Dragunov fucking earned himself the right to be an NXT champion, whether it be North American champion or the actual NXT World Heavyweight Champion. Dragunov right now, how old is he? 26? 27? Not even in his prime yet. He's one of the best athletes, may very well be the best talent down in NXT. The guy is fucking amazing. Guy's a fucking beast. Guy is legitimately the smaller version of Gunther. He's legitimately a smaller version of Gunther. I'm telling you, he hits hard. And Carmelo Hayes, is self-explanatory. I mean, when he says he is him, he's not lying. Carmelo Hayes indeed is him. Carmelo Hayes is amazing. Carmelo Hayes is easily a future Intercontinental Champion, future U.S. Champion, future World Champion. Carmelo Hayes is like another version of Ricochet. Carmelo Hayes is amazing. The question here is, how do they do this? There's multiple ways that they can go here. They could give the title to Dragunov. They could. But in the end, I mean, what would that really do for Carmelo Hayes? Has Carmelo Hayes really had a run with it yet? Doesn't really seem like it. Now, granted, Carmelo Hayes, he's ready for the main roster right now. He's ready for the main roster right now, but so is Ilya Dragunov. I'm not sure how they're going to lay this out, but I mean, either one of these guys could come out victorious here. And these guys are going to make the most of what they are given, and they're going to make sure that everyone gets their money's worth when they watch this match. Trust me on that. Trust me. They could have Carmelo Hayes retain, and to be quite honest with you, that's probably what I'm leaning towards. Because if anything, there was a report not that long ago that they want to have Ilya Dragunov get called up to the main roster, and they want to put him with Imperium. They want to put him with Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, and if anything, it could very well make sense because they've been teasing Giovanni Vinci getting kicked out of Imperium, which I fucking hate because let me tell you something. If Giovanni Vinci goes out on his own, he's going to be fired quicker than we can ever imagine. Because Vince McMahon, all he loves to do is break up tag teams and keep the people that he likes and then fire the other people. I'm not really sure how they're going to do that, but I mean, with Ilya Dragunov getting called up to the main roster, he could absolutely be a member of Imperium. Hell, he could very well be the guy that takes the title off of Gunther. If you don't want to give it to McIntyre, which I don't understand why you wouldn't, because that's obviously what he came back for. But, if Drew doesn't win at SummerSlam, calling Dragunov up and putting him against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, that right there, that is all you fucking need. Just put those guys in the ring and let them go out there and fight. Those two guys will abso-fucking-lutely give you a match worthy of being main event on any given night. Because if you watched the last two matches that they had, I mean, holy shit. Dragunov, the first match that Dragunov had with Gunther, oh my God, absolutely fucking brutal. And then you take a look at the one that they had at NXT TakeOver 36, the final takeover ever. I mean, holy fuck. You could not pay me all the money in the world to take any strikes from either of those individuals. But Dragunov and Gunther, I mean, listen, if Drew's not going to beat Gunther, Dragunov would be perfect to beat Gunther. And if anything, Dragunov would be a hell of a lot better solo than with Imperium. But I could honestly see Dragunov getting the call. What else would he have left to do? What else would he really have left to do in NXT? There's really nothing. There's really nothing. If anything, Dragunov in NXT would kind of be holding him back a little bit. It would kind of be holding him back a little bit. If you're not going to make him a champion, then call him up. And Carmelo Hayes, listen, he's almost in the same boat as Tiffany Stratton. He really is, because they're running out of challengers for Carmelo Hayes. You got Grayson Waller, he beat. Braun Breaker, he beat. Corbin, he beat. Noam Dar, he beat. And he's going to beat Dragunov, who's left. Do we see Wes Lee? Does Wes Lee move up from the NXT North American title picture to the NXT title picture? Now that would be intriguing. That I don't have an issue with. Matter of fact, if you're going to move Wes Lee on from the North American Championship and have him fight Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship, if you want to make him the NXT champion, I mean, I got no problem with that. I got zero issue with that whatsoever. Matter of fact, that would be fucking great. You give Wes Lee the NXT Championship and Wes Lee is the guy to take it from Carmelo Hayes, that would be something. That would very much be something. But outside of Wes Lee, I can't really think of anybody. Are they going to build up Gable Steveson? Are they going to fast track Gable Steveson to the NXT Championship? I would love to see Dragon Lee. Maybe Dragon Lee goes after Dominic Mysterio in the NXT North American Championship. That's what I would do. He's a luchador. And seeing as Dominic wants to call himself the greatest luchador ever, put him against Dragon Lee. Maybe Dragon Lee goes after Carmelo Hayes. Who knows? Carmelo Hayes, I mean, you got Dragon Lee and you got Wes Lee. Who else? really no one else left. I guess we'll have to see what happens, but if you're asking me, this is ending with Carmelo Hayes retaining the NXT Championship. It's a short one today, people. That wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into the stream. You guys are awesome. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all those links in the description. Go check out the rewind for Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor with Hologram, which took place on Tuesday. Get ready for the rewind for NXT Great American Bash next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The rundown for SummerSlam with Billy Ann Wolf next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Lightning Flash update this Saturday night. Lightning Flash update next Saturday. Plenty more good shit to come. And me and JV Thunder, we're getting to work because we will have to you guys the final countdown by Europe. He's doing his own personal drum cover. We're going to get that down to a T. Hopefully, we should have that up sometime after SummerSlam is over, and it is going to be damn good. Thank you all. Thank you to James Poniseka, Dylan, and everyone else, Sarah Hapka as well. You guys have been fantastic. You already know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all those links in the description. But until next time, ladies and gents, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and this has been The Rundown. But before we get out of here, a very important question for everyone. Who runs the IWC? Let me take a drink of my ice water. I'll tell ya who runs the IWC. Who? But DJ motherfucking Storms. Don't you ever forget it, people.
Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.